Hi there. My name's Kim Duffy, and I am co-owner of Strength and Nutrition. My partner Rachel and I are so excited to have you all and to be involved in the 8-week Energy for Life program. And today is the very first day. The last time we launched this program, it was a combination exercise and nutrition program. And this year we decided to split it up and actually make it into a nutrition and exercise or a combo program. And you get to choose based off of kind of what your personal goals are. So we're so happy you're here, and I want to dive right in and start into our welcome module. So let me share my screen here. Um, so I just want to walk you through kind of each piece that's important for y'all to understand. So everyone will have access to the Practice Better client portal. And what that is that's a place where you can chat with us, you can send us messages anytime, day or night. We'll get back to you as soon as we can. So anytime if you have a question or a concern or any feedback you want to give us, we love it. Please do not hesitate to send us a chat. So Practice Better is where you're actually accessing this module right now. So you likely know how to use it at this point, but if you had any questions, wanted to know how to get into the food or mood journals, which you guys have access to throughout this program, please click on the link here, Practice Better tutorial, and Rachel will walk you through how to use it. Second of all, I should say number two is the Trainerize app. Now, if you are not doing the exercise portion of this program, just don't worry about this piece. But if you are, this is very important for you to be able to understand how to use Trainerize. This is where all of your workouts are going to be housed, as well as the form videos. And basically each week we will send you workouts, 3 workouts a week, upper body, lower body, and a full body workout for you to pick and choose whichever one you'd want to do, whatever one you want to do each day. You can even do it more than the 3 days a week if you would like. So there's also the links here for the long bands and the booty bands, which are the ones that we use during the workouts. But if you have access to them, you already have them at home, or maybe you have a gym that you have access to them, then you don't need them. But if you do, there's the links. Feel free to run through the Trainerize program and let us know if you have any questions at all. We want this to be, we want you to be comfortable with how to use the Trainerize program and not have any issues with it. So reach out if you have any questions. So moving on, for our topic today is on goal setting. And regardless of whether you're doing nutrition or exercise or the combo, you are getting this module because this module is so important for everyone to actually think about why they're here, what they want to do. This is important for you to be successful in the long term, is to actually be thinking about why this is important to you. What do you want to achieve over the next 8 weeks? So think about, why are you here? Why are you doing this program? Why is making whatever change you want to make important to you? Is it about, you want to learn more about eating macro balanced meals? Maybe you struggle with cravings and you want to figure out ways to actually feel more full and satisfied. And maybe, you struggle with blood sugar control. Maybe you just want to actually fuel your body with more quality nutrition. Regardless of why you're here, I want you to be thinking about that. I want you to write that down. And then if you have in the past tried to make this change unsuccessfully, why do you feel it didn't stick? What was going on? What made it more difficult for you? Was it doing too many things at once? Was it overwhelming? Did you feel deprived? Did you get frustrated? Think and try to be mindful about that. It can help you to maybe figure out, what do we need to do to make this change this time and make you more able to be successful at making that change. One way is actually setting SMART goals. And y'all probably have heard about this before, but SMART goals are specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time bound. If your goal meets these 5 criteria, or the majority of these criteria, is going to have a higher likelihood of being successful. So first thing is, make your goal specific. So that is just one that is focused. Rather, stay away from those goals that are just kind of generalized, like I want to exercise more, or I'd like to eat a little bit better. Define what you want to accomplish, and then actually, what do you need to do to achieve that goal? So, being specific means actually thinking through that goal and setting some framework or some structure around it. So in general, if you want to exercise more, I want you to think through, what kind of exercise do you enjoy doing? When are you going to do it? Is morning or evening work? Maybe you're going to do it over your lunch hour. Which is going to make it more likely that you're going to consistently stick to it. The more specific that you can make the goal, the easier it's going to be. Okay. So think about, if you want to exercise more, you're going to go to a class. Maybe you're going to go to an outside gym. Maybe you're going to work out in your basement. Maybe you're going to start working out with a personal trainer or go to some group classes. So as far as when you're setting those nutrition related goals, you need to be very specific, or you'll just kind of like poop out and they'll fall to the wayside. So if, for instance, if you want to decrease something like sugar intake, first think about, when is that a problem for you? Do you really like donuts at breakfast? Do you struggle with, looking for a candy bar at your 2 p.m. snack? Do you really like to have dessert after dinner? Where is that sugar coming into play? And where is it that you're struggling with those cravings? So then I want you to think about, okay, so maybe it's at breakfast time. Maybe you set some structure around, for breakfast, maybe I need to have more macro balance meals. Maybe at breakfast, if I focus on getting more protein in, that I won't find the need to want that donut. Maybe I try to find some more macro balanced meals. And that goes the same for, dinner time. If you're struggling with wanting dessert after dinner, maybe it's a matter of we're not getting enough protein in at dinner time. Maybe you're not giving yourself some complex carbs in there to actually help to fill you up. Maybe you're not loading up with that extra fiber and some of those healthy fats to give you that satiety. These are all things we're going to be talking about in future modules. So I'm so excited because we could talk forever on these topics. So second, that SMART goal, I want it to be measurable. So it just means that I want you to be able to quantify if it was met. So think about, how are you going to track if you have successfully reached that goal? So if you just, throw a goal out there, was like, I want to eat more vegetables, or I need to get more fiber in. So those goals, how do you know if you actually met that? Actually write down, I want to make it much more specific. So maybe you're going to eat 5 cups of vegetables a day, or maybe you want to get in 25 grams of fiber a day. If it's exercise oriented, actually set the amount of time and days you'd like to exercise. And I want you to take a step further and actually put them on your calendar. Write them down. What days are you going to be more inclined to be able to get these done, and what time? Is it before work? Is it over your lunch hour like we talked before? At the end of the week, keep that journal, write down or scratch out the days that you were able to meet this, so you can actually track whether or not you met it. And, I think by scheduling it, you keep yourself from pushing that goal off to the end of the week, so that it's Saturday and you're like, oh, I said I was going to get in 3 workouts this week and I haven't got in any, and you're going to be less, obviously you're not going to be able to meet that goal. So set yourself up for success. Number 3, making that goal achievable. So think about one, I want it to be realistic. Many times, New Year's resolutions are overwhelming and they're so lofty because you go in there saying, I'm going to do the whole 30, or I'm going to go keto, or I'm going to exercise 7 days a week for an hour and a half each. When you're going from doing nothing, or when this is like a huge change compared to what you normally do, this would not be considered achievable, right? Instead, I want you to think about bite-sized changes. So maybe it's, I need to stop having my donut at breakfast time, or my cold cereal, or my other, kind of high sugar breakfast content. Instead, I am going to have some veggie egg scrambles. I'm going to have some high protein smoothies. I'm going to make some overnight oats. I'm going to have, Greek yogurt with berries. Give yourself some other options that you're going to have instead. And maybe that is the only goal that you're going to focus on. Then be consistent with it. Don't do it once a week and have a donut 6 days a week. Okay. I want you to say, I'm going to do this at least 3 days a week. And when you go from having your donut 6 days, 7 days a week to doing that 3 days a week, that's a huge change. That's so much better than what you were doing before. And it's so much easier for you to be consistent with that because it is just tweaking one thing. And the thing is, the more consistent you are with it, the more persistent you are with it, the easier it's going to become and the more it's going to become a habit. And then once that habit is created, then you can move on to that next step of, now I'm going to tackle lunch, or I'm going to tackle that afternoon snack or that evening snack, right? So much easier to achieve, so much easier to maintain. Number 4, relevance. A relevant goal is something that's important to you. So sit down and write down, like we talked about, write down your whys of doing, why you are doing these things. Why is this goal important to me? Avoid doing something just because your friend's doing it or your spouse is doing it. And you're like, oh yeah, you're going to do keto. Okay, I'll do keto with you. That goal or that change is not going to be as relevant to you because you're kind of just going along for the ride to support someone else or because someone else said they're doing it, right? So you're going to be less likely to take that seriously if it's not you and meeting your specific goals. So, maybe your specific goals are things like, I have high blood pressure or high cholesterol or diabetes. I want to get off medications, or I want to bring my numbers down into better ranges because I want longevity. I want health. I want quality of life. Maybe you just want more strength. Maybe you want more endurance. Maybe, you have low bone density and you need to actually build up that bone mass. So maybe the exercise and weight bearing exercise is important for you. But think about through these things, because these things, as compared to just generalized goals like, I want to lose weight, I want oh gosh, now of course I have a blank brain, but I want to fit into the jeans I wore in high school. Those kind of goals they can kind of seem important for a minute, and then after a little bit of dieting or frustration, deprivation, they don't seem as important after a while, because they don't mean as much, I think, to actually thinking of like, how does this affect my quality of life? How does this affect how I feel about myself? So maybe thinking about those goals, maybe the goals are, you want to be able to, run around and play with your kids or your grandkids, or, maybe you want to run a 5K or a 10K or something like that. Set some of those goals that are important for you and think them through. Okay. Relevant. Last is time bound. So, time bound just indicates that goal has an evaluation date. So thinking about, when do you want to achieve this by, or when do you want to evaluate this by? Now, that doesn't mean that at that date you're like, yep, stop, I'm done, I'm moving on, I'm going to go back to everything I was doing before. No, that's not the idea. But actually thinking at some point, 8 weeks down the road or 4 weeks down the road, you're going to look back and say, okay, when I started, this was my goal and this is why I wanted it. Where am I? Did I achieve that? Did I fall off the wagon and totally quit after 1 week? If that's the case, maybe that goal wasn't good for you. Maybe we need to tweak that goal. Maybe we need to change it to something that means more to you, or is something that you'll be able to stick to. It might have been too overwhelming or too lofty, but that's just the time when you're evaluating that goal and determining if it was something that worked for you. Okay. I actually wrote a blog on this, and it's going to tell you a little bit more than what we've talked about. If anyone is interested, feel free to click on that link. It'll take you to the blog, and you can read a little bit more specifically about kind of goal setting and setting SMART goals. So in each of our modules, you're going to find that at the very bottom, we have an action step. And so this is just something that we want you to actually follow through with and do to help you to incorporate what we talk about in this module into just your daily life and your daily routine. And we are not going to make these anything that's going to take you any lengthy degree of time, because we've created this program for the busy adult, and we want the exercise, we want the nutrition modules, we want this all to be fit into your busy schedule. So you can do it whenever, wherever you want. Obviously, you could decide not to do it at all, but this program is what you make of it. And you're going to get as much out of it as you put into it. So I would love for you guys to create a SMART goal. If you have any questions or you need any help, please do not hesitate to reach out and chat with Rachel and I, send us a message. There is, like I said, you can print out the small SMART goal worksheet that's attached to this module, print it out and actually think about it, think it through and write down what is your goal. Put it up somewhere that you can see it so that, it follows you throughout this 8-week program and you can kind of remember, this is why I'm doing this. This is what I'm working on, and think about each week, maybe check off. Yep, did that, no problem. Maybe at 4 weeks you decide you need to reevaluate it. So I hope y'all enjoyed this very first module. Welcome to this awesome program. We are so happy to have you, and please reach out and tell us a little bit about yourselves. We'd love to get to know you better, and y'all have a great week, and we'll see you later. Bye.